Welcome back. Thousands of social grant recipients could have their grants cancelled if they failed to meet the deadline to update their details. Beneficiaries had until yesterday to do so. It was aimed at preventing fraud and corruption within the social grant system. What now for those who have failed to comply? Let's chat to South African Social Security Agency CEO Virginia Peterson, joining us from the eNCA studio in Pretoria. Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. How many people have not met your deadline?
Good morning, Dan, and all your viewers. I think first of all, let's say that 21.8 million people were expected to register for their grants in 2012, leading up to April this year, on the 30th of April 2030. What we said to people, we will then take 90 days to inform them if they had not. We would write them a letter, we would put it in the mail. 450,000 people have not come forward to re-register at this time.
Are we aware what are the reasons for them having failed to respond to your request to re-register? Because from what I understand, you really have been dragging this re-registration process on since last year.
Well, we've tried to communicate with our people. I must say, last month I found a lady in the Eastern Cape who said to me she had not gone to re-register by the 30th of April because she had applied for the grant for her children in the Western Cape. So I think there are some people who still might not have got the message. You will recall we've had a very extensive communications program through printed media, through television, through radio, and community meetings. We had hoped that we had met everyone's needs in informing them of the need to re-register. But we know there are some people who might still not have got the message.
So if they haven't come up by today, that's it for them. They can't get access to any grants.
What has happened, their grant is reflected on the system. We've suspended it with a message to say, you cannot receive your money whilst your grant is still in payment. You will have to go to the local SASSA office to get your grant in payment again. So it hasn't been cancelled, it has been suspended. The suspension clause will be there for a month. Thereafter, if we've had no response, we will have to cancel.
Will you make further efforts then during the next month to reach out to those who have not yet re-registered and whose grants are suspended?
We in a constant communication with beneficiaries through notices, through formal correspondence to attempt to get them all. But you must recall this was to eliminate duplication and fraud. At the end of the day, we can say that 93% of the grant beneficiaries have come forward. We now have started looking at trends to see if there perhaps was 4 children on the system, whilst only 2 are in fact alive, whether children are living with grandparents and the mothers receiving the money, because we have 300 incomplete files on children where one person has come forward, either the mother or the grandmother, but has not brought the child for us to enroll the child.
Well, nobody can really fault you for your efforts during the past year and the fact that you've given ample time to people to re-register. Your focus has also been to eliminate fraud and corruption in the social grant system. Just share with us what kind of changes are in place now to make sure that you have a clean system.
Well, we now can run our system against Home Affairs. It's a biometric system, so we have the 10 fingerprints. We obviously have ID numbers. We're also checking the veracity of birth certificates because we've had quite a bit of problems in people using fake birth certificates. So now people who come forward with their SASSA card, they can swipe their card, they can enter a PIN, they can put down their finger as a biometric, and we can give assurances to government, the public at large, the taxpayers, that the right people are getting the grants, the people who are entitled to the grants.
And this card can be swiped at places like ATMs?
Yes, our card can obviously be used at an ATM. It can be used as a shop at ShopRite, Boxer, Checkers, Pick n Pay, places like that. We also have point-of-sale devices. We have community centers where we pay out pensions. So there are a variety of options for our beneficiaries to use in order to access their grants.
So in your words, everything you've done has been successful. So your campaign, I'm sure you'd characterize it as a success?
Of course, we are very pleased. The Minister Batabeli Dlamini and myself are exceptionally pleased with the way people have come forward and that we can give reassurances to the public now.
Thank you very much. That's South African Social Security Agency CEO Virginia Peterson, live from our studios in Pretoria.
News that moves. eNCA.com.